a pause and see if there are any questions on this. So Jyoti, can you quickly...
Sir, I want to ask, may I ask if it's not in...
Yes.
Sir, when we take a validated scale, which is validated in a good journal, but we put it in a different context in the sense of the term also, like maybe in or in India we are using it. Can we again have to do exploratory, or we just have to do CFA?
No, you don't have to do EFA, you will just do CFA. Unless you are making a claim that the factor structure, I don't agree with this factor structure, okay, and I am maybe I don't agree, so I want to test the factor structure completely again. So basically I don't believe that S1 to S3 belong to I and S4 to S6 belong to N. So therefore I want to explore the factor structure again.
Sir, understood, sir. But in yesterday you said adoption and adaption.
Yes.
But if we change the language, then also we can use CFA only directly.
Yes, yes. Remember I said
making the meaning intact, keeping the meaning.
Correctly, correct. Remember I said that when you adapt, you will not change the underlying meaning. You will only simplify some items or make them add few words, but the underlying meaning remains unchanged. If the meaning remains unchanged, you don't need to do EFA. You will just do a CFA. Is that okay?
Understood, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Okay. Yes, Anu Gupta, in case we are modifying existing validated scale, adding new variables, you will have to, that is what I said, if you are making changes to existing scales, which are substantial, you are adding new dimensions, you are adding new variables, new items, okay, and that is a significant change, then you will have to do EFA first, and then you will have to do CFA also. So in those studies, when you are developing your own scales, you will have to do EFA, understand the factor structure, and then collect another sample, okay, and on that second sample do a confirmatory factor analysis. So you will explore the factor structure on one sample and you will confirm the factor structure on second sample. If you are using an already validated scale, you don't need to do, you should never do EFA, you should just do CFA. Remember, we will never do EFA and CFA on the same sample. That is principally wrong, because if you have explored the factor structure on one sample, you should not confirm that factor structure again on the same sample. You've got to take different samples to show that my factor structure actually holds on to different samples, okay, and not on the same sample. If you are dropping items from existing established scales, it is okay. You can actually just go ahead and do CFA. Okay, because you are dropping few items. Remember, you are not making very large changes. If you are just dropping few items, and because they had poor loading onto your factor structure and so on, and not adding anything new, you can just do a confirmatory factor analysis and go ahead, right? We will talk about EFA in a lot more detail, so just hold on.
So just one question.
Yes.
If we are using one construct and using another construct which we have made or adopted from the other paper, that in that case also, can we use EFA first on the pilot study?
You have developed a scale for your construct?
No, sir. We have used two constructs we have used in our paper. Yes. Both using two different validated scales, but in different contexts.
Yes.
In that case, if we do a pilot study and see if those two validated scales are, fitting, can we do EFA in that case?
No, you should not do. No, you should not do EFA. You will only do CFA because you have to, you will confirm the factor structure of the first construct and you will confirm the factor structure of the second construct separately. So you will do CFA for first construct, you will do CFA for the second construct. You don't need to remember, please understand, EFA and CFA are done construct wise. You don't put all the constructs together and start doing EFA and CFA. No, you are testing measures of each. These are called as measurement models. This is a measurement model for construct of IN together. Okay, these are basically sub-dimensions of some construct. Similarly, this is also a measurement model for a construct made up of IN sub-dimensions. So you should do factor analysis construct wise. Okay, if you have, let's say, leadership and justice, the data that I have given you for work for our exercises, you have leadership, justice and creativity. You will not put items of leadership, justice, creativity together and run EFA. No, that is not done. You will do confirmatory factor analysis for leadership separately. You will do confirmatory factor analysis for justice separately. You will do confirmatory analysis for creativity separately, and then bring them together and test the regressions between these constructs, okay, or the path analysis between these three constructs. You will not put everything together and say, okay, let me explore. No, that is not done. You have to do it construct-wise. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. We don't need to do EFA on second sample. We will do EFA on first sample. We will confirm the factor structure on the second sample. Okay, so EFA is done on one and CFA is done on second sample. EFA and CFA correlation matrices are always positive and definite, because you have to, when you do, when the algorithms work, Ashwini, on the back end, you've got to do matrix transformations, and inverse of matrix can only be taken if the matrices are definite, positive and definite. Otherwise, the inverse of these matrices cannot be taken, right? So if your matrices are not definite, the algorithms will not run. That is the reason why you get those kinds of errors. If you use leadership scale in advertising, crafting of some industry, no EFA is needed unless you say that I have to change the leadership scale substantially. Nirja, if you are not making change to the leadership scale, you are using those items, okay, you will just do a CFA and go ahead. You don't need to do a, okay. If we are using established instrument but change the scale from 5 to 7, 5 point to 7 or 9 point, no, you will not do EFA, you will only do CFA. Changing of points from 5 to 7 does not need to do a EFA. Remember, EFA will be done only if you are changing meanings of the items, right? Or you are adding new items, right? Or you are adding new dimensions to your construct and so on, okay? If it is changed from 5 to 7, does not usually, Richa, you should, if you are doing EFA, CFA, these are large sample techniques. A minimum sample size, I would say, should be somewhere between at least 150 to 200. Okay, that is. Yes, it is. It is absolutely possible. It is absolutely possible that you take a sample of large sample. Say, so actually the paper that I have given my work in my PhD work, I collected data from 600 respondents. Then I broke my sample, divided my sample into two sets of 300 responses. I explored the factor structure. I did EFA on the first sample of 300, and I did confirmatory analysis on the second sample of 300, right? So it is perfectly okay if you collect data together but you will divide the sample into two parts, do EFA on one and CFA on the other, right? Otherwise, you first do EFA and then collect data again and then do CFA on the second sample. But remember, you will not do EFA and CFA on the same sample. That is wrong. Okay.